Prepare to celebrate the 4th of July. There's a new gallery about to open in downtown Bakersfield. It's called Portrait of a Warrior Gallery, paying tribute to Kern County servicemen and women who gave their lives protecting our freedoms in wars fought after 9/11.
This is the face of Marine Corporal Adam Zanudo.
This is our son, Adam.
The loss still hard for Richard, looking into his son's eyes, just like he did the last time he saw him, leaving on his third deployment to Iraq, regretting not hugging his brave boy goodbye.
Every time he left for Iraq, I made sure I gave him a big hug, and that day, for whatever reason, I didn't. And I always said that when he got home, I was going to give him that big hug. And, it never happened. But
Adam was 21 days from coming home when he hit an IED and was killed. Now the first piece to make up the Kern County Portraits of a Warrior Gallery. As fate would have it, the gallery is near the corner of 20th and I in downtown Bakersfield, near this mural, standing stories tall and telling stories of conflict.
I was fortunately given the God-gifted talent, so I need to use it.
Each stroke of each story made by this man, Tom Zachary.
I didn't get any sleep doing the military mural.
Little did he know, right across the street from his mural, in a modest-looking space, another insomnia-inducing project would take shape as the Portrait of a Warrior Gallery. Lily Marsh had the idea when she heard an artist in a small town in Texas was painting the portrait of every fallen service member in the state since 9/11.
Immediately the wheels are turning. I think we can do that in Kern County. We can do that here because we can.
First, she needed an artist. That takes us back to the mural and the day Tom Zachary was retouching his work.
I stood under a ladder and saw the artist and said, "Do you paint portraits?" As he was way up on a ladder.
I was up on the scaffolding doing the Vietnam mural, and when she said, do you do portraits? I should have said no. But I didn't, and so that was the beginning of this wonderful project.
That was nearly 2 years ago. Since then, a group has tried to identify each of Kern County's heroes so they can be honored with a personal portrait. Those killed in the line of duty or due to injuries sustained in a post-9/11 conflict. So far, they found nearly 40 local servicemen and women who've sacrificed everything.
We can never forget those folks and their sacrifices, because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here today.
It's so important. This little piece is really a super big piece.
So far, Tom has created 3 portraits, sitting down with their families, making sure he paints a personal picture, the way their loved ones remember them.
I don't want to paint a military picture. I want to know who these kids were before they joined the service. So that's the reason I paint their dog, the car they worked on, or whatever that meant something to them.
it was his first plane flight, and it's leaving Meadows Field here, and it was a thumbs up as we were taking off. So, and I recall the first time I helped him put the buttons on his uniform.
Yeah, they become very personal, very family-like, so it's a privilege.
The pain, pride, precious memories the family shares is poured out in paint on canvas. Each takes about 2 weeks to master, and each requires a sponsorship.
These are all memories, for them.
$1,200 creates the portrait, a biography, and a smaller version of the painting for the family to keep. And the sponsor is there as the final piece is privately presented to their loved ones for the first time.
The hardest part is the reaction from the parents. Yeah, that's the reward.
What it brings us to is those are fellow human beings that gave their life so that we can be there to honor them and be there to share in fellowship with our fellow community members, to not let their memories die.
Yeah, it brings back so many memories, and none of the memories are going to ever go away.
Their stories will live on. Tom Zachary is committed to that.
I do think about, okay, are you telling the story right about this soldier? So yeah, it's always on my mind.
With every dab and dip, our local heroes are humanized and will soon be hung here on these walls, showcasing our brave warriors, like Adam Zanudo, a place for their families to come. And while it may not be that last hug Richard wanted from his son, Seeing him memorialized here is comforting.
Remember each of these phases of his life and what we did together.
The gallery creators hope it's a place for everyone to get to know each of these people, perfectly portrayed in portraits, and stand in awe of their service, their stories, their sacrifice for each and every one of us.
It's something I have dedicated myself to doing, and it's an ongoing process. So I just would be glad when people can come down here and experience these soldiers.
It's just a way to look back and never forget, and that's what's most important to me.
And give them a complete interactive experience that will change their lives, we hope. Should change their lives.
And they hope to have the gallery open by the end of the month. They'd like to become a destination for school field trips where students can look at the portraits and interact with veterans of the same wars. If you or a corporation or a group is interested in sponsoring one of the portraits, you can go to bakersfieldnow.com for contact information.